Well, there were some tense moments there late, but the Panthers find a way to get the victory in the shootout here. I'm your host, Kirby Lupo, joined alongside my Canadian brethren. We're taking the W tonight here, Ryan. Mr. Moderator Ryan here, that's always here in the chat. Appreciate having Ryan on with us here. Maybe starting that winning a little bit early here, Ryan.
Yeah, well, can't say I don't feel used to beating Hellebuck, especially seeing Bennett score on him again. Getting some deja vu with that one. Knew it was gonna happen.
That's right. And
Yep.
I want to get into some of like the sub-Olympic storylines that I saw in this game today. Morrissey on Tkachuk.
Yep.
We saw Hellebuck in net there. Sam Bennett thing. I know I had the Jets broadcast tonight. They were talking a lot about Sam Bennett. We can get into kind of his game here tonight. But why I'm wearing this hat, and this was not planned that me and Ryan have this thing hat on. Why I'm wearing this hat, because I was thinking of Paul Reese. Remember when he put the hat on and they interviewed him on the ice after the first cup? He's like, I want to see my former team, Winnipeg, win the next Stanley Cup. Hey, I still want to go for it again, right? Which we did back to back, but I want to see Winnipeg be that next team. So I was thinking about that when I put this hat on my head earlier tonight, Ryan.
Oh, that's a good one, man. That was such an emotional moment. I remember just seeing him on the ice, tears in his eyes. He really.
Yeah, and a lot of the TSN guys today and like Canadian media were like, How did you let this guy get away, right? But there's so much going into it.
And that's his first win in Winnipeg as a Panthers coach. So good.
That's right. I don't know. Oh, I was gonna give you the TSN graphic. They showing it like Reese is yelling, and then they show like the losses there. So if you want to pull that,
6-3, 5-2, and 4-2, I believe.
Yeah, and it did not Ryan. It did not look like this game tonight. Let's start there. What do you think about this game tonight? I say there's like 4 to 5 snoozers a year. And that's what this game was until the third period.
Oh, I feel bad for you guys on the East Coast. I was struggling to stay awake. I came after work and it started right when I got home. And I was like, oh, I'm excited to watch the game, excited to be on this. And then so boring the first 2 periods. It's like the whole game was neutral zone dominated. Like the Jets, they did a good job in their own zone, but they could not get out of the neutral zone. We weren't aggressive. There was no pushing for scoring chances. There was a lot less risky play. I think both teams are in a spot in the standings where they're been perennial favorites, at least in the regular season for Winnipeg. And they both realized how much they needed the point. And it's like they didn't want to take a risk. It was like, imagine if a playoff game was boring. It's the best way I could describe it. Like with the no risk taken, no chances going either ways. It was just very, very slow. Like there was no action really.
Yeah, and it was one of those games that I've seen like at different times. Sometimes you get that with the Western Conference opponents. Sometimes you get it with Carolina, where it's a mirror match. We call it our post-game show where we're doing the same thing as the other. And I wouldn't call Winnipeg and us a mirror match because they're a little heavier hockey team than us, especially when it comes to the regular season. We amp up our physicality when it gets to playoffs. But having Matthew Tkachuk out there tonight, I think, intensified some of that.
Yeah, that's so funny. Like Cody just said, it was great melatonin for him. So. Yeah, no, you're right. Like, especially Carolina, I'm used to that. But at least when we play Carolina, there's a little more action, as in physicality after whistles, and you get those cheap shots in there. But we were not getting those until the third period when, like you were telling me earlier, Matthew Tkachuk started going at guys. Even Forsling hit a dude, hit Tanner Pearson into the boards. That was the unexpected hit from Forsling, and those guys.
He was going at Perfetti there. I thought the refs were going to give him a penalty.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, speaking of the refs, I'm very glad how they officiated the game down the stretch. They could have easily called 4 or 5 penalties in the third period, but they really wanted to be ended 5-on-5 because I think they knew if a team gets a power play, that's the only offense they're going to get. They kind of wanted to make it like an ethical win, I should say. So I do respect that.
I like the refs tonight. I know my co-host Cody Stevens is not here right now. Nick Levine away here tonight too. Hopefully have them back here on the weekend for this road trip. But Cody said there was a couple calls missed and stuff like that. But I liked how the refs stayed out of this game and let the game find its legs, and it eventually did there in the third. Then they jumped in and they made the call there. I thought the Tkachuk roughing call was a roughing. He's punching Morrissey in the face. He's doing this because he's going to be matched up against Morrissey next month. Everyone
get his head early.
This is how Tkachuk thinks. So Lowry comes in there, the captain of the Jets, and cross-checks him, which is an interference penalty. So it was good that the refs kind of convened there and put both of them in the penalty box. So I just thought a pretty good job tonight by the officials.
And I'll always say, I do not care if refs don't call enough stuff. As long as it's even on both sides, it's fine. That's all we want. Okay, to be fair, Cody's right. That interference on Lusto was dreadful. They missed it. It was like in the middle of the neutral zone, just going in. Lusto wasn't even close to the puck. You could barely see it on TV, and he decked him. That one, I was like, call that. Come on. But then you look at the whole period, and it's like they weren't calling anything. You could, unless you chopped the dude's head off with your stick, they weren't calling it. If I'm being honest.
Well, Forsling did by the boards there. You could have called a boarding or interference call. The rest didn't call.
Put Pearson's head right into the boards.
The rest didn't call it. They let it go, everyone. And I had a good angle on that on the TSN. And they weren't complaining on the Jets broadcast. They said, hey, the officials are letting this game go. This is what we want to see. Both of these teams want this win tonight, right? Because both teams are in desperation mode, you could say. Even Winnipeg more than Florida. But how the East is, Florida, and we'll get into this later with the trade rumors out there. Jesper Boqvist on the line. We can get to that a little bit later, Ryan. But you cannot give away these points now down the stretch going into the Olympic break and then try to make the points when you come back, because you don't know how you're going to be, what your legs are going to be like when you come back. Again, remember, we have 9-10 Olympians going to the Olympics. So when you come back from the break, nothing is a guarantee. So this is why I'm urgent right now, grabbing these points. Everyone said the other night, Ryan, I don't really care about the 2 points after the Bobrovsky fight. Well, you better care, because coming into tonight in this road trip, we need to grab these points now, right?
Yeah, no. Speaking of that, Boqvist, it was very refreshing not to see him on the ice. I don't know. I know Goldie calls him Vilmanus. I'm gonna keep calling him Vilmanus. But yeah, Vilmanus has looked very natural fit on that team on the third line today. I actually really liked his game with Mackie and Erod. I think Mackie still can't hit the net, but I think he elevated his game today, and he showed that he can play that top line role if he needs to. He was very smart with the puck. He's very defensively responsible, which I've noticed you don't get that from a lot of young later round picks. Like his IQ, like Jamie, shout out to Jamie. He's been saying it. Jamie always says Vilmanus' hockey IQ was why he thinks he'd fit so well with the team. And that's a huge W for a guy who we love his hot takes and we love to do his segments, Jamie's takes. That's a huge W for him, because that's a smart player right there.
And I think Vilmanus, again, people that didn't watch him a couple of years ago, and this is the contention I have with Jamie, he needed to work on his defensive side of the puck, where I think offensively he's going really well right now. I want to get to Cody's question here on Belinkus here in a second, but just back to the Jesper Boqvist thing, people wondering why you scratched that here in the chat. I think you scratch a player because if he is in trade talks, you don't want him to be injured. But remember, we're coming off of a loss, Ryan. Maybe they wanted to make changes off of the loss, and they wanted to see Luke Cunningham back in line. So I think it could be a combination of both. What's your thoughts?
I think Boqvist just doesn't provide anything special teams-wise either, where he's kind of just like a 5-on-5 player. And I think, when you have a guy like Vilmanus, you can't scratch him when he's playing well. Like, that's so detrimental for these young guys. When you have young guys playing well, you got to give them minutes. You got to keep giving them time. And I think he fits a lot better with Mackie than Boqvist has shown. I think when we've seen Boqvist with Mackie, they've looked terrible, both of them together. So I think that's a thing. And then, like you said, when you have guys in the trade rumors and the trade talks, so you don't know when these deals are getting done. There's been trades announced during games all the time. You don't want a guy, number one, playing, and number two, you don't want a guy like that, like you said, getting hurt in case something happens to him, because I don't know. I just think he doesn't bring anything to the table at this point. Like, we've seen what we're getting for Boqvist. He's an okay skater. He'll forecheck a little bit. Sometimes he does. He skates around. Like, he doesn't do much, right? Like, he's just there. At least with Vilmanus, that ceiling is way higher.
Yeah, and I think he's low event, non-event. I always look at it from what the coaching staff's thinking, not what we're just thinking too as hosts and coaches. So I'm like, well, Maurice does favor the veterans over the youngsters, but I think there could be something involving a trade here, and then just kind of giving the lineup a different change. Now, I'm glad Cody said this, because I was going to come in and talk about my co-hosts Cody and Nick here today on the Juvis Belinkus front, because they've been higher on this guy than me. And yes, he's looked good offensively. Yes, like you mentioned, Boqvist, he doesn't add anything to your special teams, where Belinkus has been running our power play one and looked, pretty good right now. Even if
actually looks good on power play.
And I think Cody and Nick say it's a temporary fix as well. They're not saying he's a permanent solution. But the problem I have with Belinkus is on that goal tonight. I don't want to be negative here on the post game, but these are the plays that kill me with Belinkus. And when it ends up in the back of your net, it can cost you 2 points on a given night. And this is the problem I have. The areas between the trapezoid and coming out on a heavy forecheck, he's not doing a good job handling that pressure. Other guys tonight didn't do a great job. That Forsling, Ekblad very early in the game. And there was another guy, Petrie, I didn't like at all either. I thought Mikkola was our best guy tonight.
Easily our best guy.
Bjornfoot, I didn't notice him, which I think is a good
thing. Same here. Yeah.
Right. So that's my take on the defense tonight. You can't have those plays from Belinkus.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was even going to text you right before that Belinskis screw up. I was going to say, Belinskis, another good game for him. I'm like what I'm seeing. And then he did that. I'm like, holy man. But no, I'm with Nick, man. When me and Nick talk, we're like, why is Belinskis playing good? Like, he's been great. But that forecheck, he cannot handle at all. And like you're saying, I agree with you. Mikko Ziesler, our best defender. Those hockey stat cards that we love have Mikko as their number one guy. Number
two. Hit the bell for me, Ryan. Hit the bell for me. I told you. You agreed with me off air, right? Yep.
Yeah.
You can put that up there if you want to go through that.
Yeah, we
shout out to our boy Big C's here.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, let me know when it's up on there. We will show some stat cards. We'll go through some stats as well. I wanted to look on Money Puck as well to see kind of where a minute allocation was tonight. Obviously, Mikkola took the skate today and was good. People were worried about him being injured there. We got it up there, Ryan.
Yep. So surprisingly, Belinskis is that high because here's the thing with I've noticed these stat cards. One mistake that leads to a goal, they don't drop you too high. It's like whether that mistake led to a goal or not, they're going to drop you the same amount, which is something that I'm not a huge fan of analytics. Like, it's not like they don't show like the exact impact of it. But like you said, Mikkola at the top, he had a great game, and Petrie at the bottom. Nailed it.
Yeah, and I didn't like Petrie, and I'm one of the few that gets on Petrie in the entire Panther fan base. And I thought Mikkola and Petrie's game was just a big separator. The first pairing didn't kill us, but individually, they played within the team structure and scheme. But that Forsling turnover early, Ekblad had a couple bobbles in the first. Those guys need to start better to start games. I think they find their game as it goes along. But in a game like that, like the Jet, we were very fortunate, Ryan, I think, not to be down 1 or 2-0 early on.
Tarasov saved our butt a couple times. I'm not going to lie. Like, Tarasov I was really impressed with. And at the forwards here, they're showing Verhaeghe, Tkachuk at the bottom is a little bit surprising. Verhaeghe, not as much, but I think Tkachuk all the way there. I thought he'd be more in the middle. But what do you think of the guys up there, like Mackie and I don't know.
I can look at there. You might have to blow it up on the screen there for even me, but if you can make it bigger there. I don't know. I just think Belinkus, like that one play there, but I saw like other plays that like it didn't affect maybe where the scorecard is there, but I didn't really like love parts of his game, but like offensively, he's going to kind of always show well. So I think like analytically, people are going to be like, Belinkus had a good night, right? But when he's not playing that style and that level of play, or he makes like a turnover or something that's really crucial, I think like that very much hurts the team. I'm surprised by Reinhart up there. Did not love his game tonight.
I did not notice Reinhart at all. Like, he was an absolute ghost to me. But to be fair, all these numbers are all very low. So it's not like it just looks big compared. 0.57 is not high. Usually when we're winning, we're getting those guys in the 2 to 3s. So just for context.
Sam Bennett, sorry, the orange there, they've switched the charts on us now. Orange is the defense. Is it the defense?
I believe so, yeah.
With Bennett? I want to know.
Orange is
play driving.
Yeah, defense, it looks like.
Okay.
Play driving.
A little bit? Okay. Because go back up to Bennett there. I love Bennett's game offensively tonight at points, but defensively, it was scary in the own zone. Yeah. And like he made that turnover at the blue. Remember that play? And then Winnipeg comes back the other way on that odd man. I think Tarasov made a pretty nice save on that one. So again, Verhaeghe was driving me up a wall today too. Where's he on here?
Bottom.
We're at the bottom. Okay, he's way down at the bottom there.
You can't even see him. He's under Tkachuk.
Yeah, like Verhaeghe's playing with like higher up the lineup, and I didn't really like his game at all tonight. People are talking about Mackie not finishing. Verhaeghe really struggling right now. Again, he had that dad bump early on, and then he's been struggling. I said Matthew Tkachuk, he should be, and I don't agree with that necessarily on the charts. I say he should be a top 3 to 5 guy because I thought he was doing certain things, especially as the game went along. But that could have been like early on.
Early on, I think he really, really struggled. He came together in third period. But I do want to give Sam Bennett props. In overtime, that was dominance in overtime. That was really impressive from him. Usually he's a guy in overtime where he touches the puck, and I'm like clutching everything around me. I'm scared out of my mind. And especially with him, Tkachuk, and Ekblad on the ice in overtime at the same time. Which genius? Who said that was okay? We got 3 of like our worst skaters on at once. But they actually looked like our best guys in overtime. Usually it's Reinhart and Lundell, and they were terrible in overtime. They didn't do anything. So I was glad to see that they were cycling. They almost scored one. I really thought Benny was going to end it there, but what can you do, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's something that Yeah, I was kind of worried about there in overtime. And then at the end, they got a chance to the Jets. And remember that Morrissey post, that was a crazy post, went all the way out there. So we got some puck luck in overtime there on that one. And then the other one. And it's just a way to like survive. Like we talk about this team, like trying to collect points. Just survive. Have some puck luck, like work for some of your advantages, which I think the Panthers did in the third period tonight, and just let it kind of play out from there, and then try to like steal a game. Like we've talked about this team not going to overtime, not going to shootouts. We need to find a way to go to these 3-point games. This is not going to hurt us with the team out west. So we need to do that on this trip, maybe even another overtime on this trip, Ryan, just to be able to get points, traction, and things.
I could see another game like against Chicago going overtime or something like that. So it'll be definitely interesting to see. And another thing I want to point out was like once again, like Tarasov, it was his game today. Like not you see a puck hit the post and go flying like that. That means the goalie's having a good game. Like there's something going on. Like I always like to say, you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. And he made this save on Scheifele in the third period, and I think there was around 6-7 minutes left. Sorry, but he was off the boards on the back of it, and Scheifele ripped it. And Tarasov looked like he was slow to react to it, and he saved it with his pad, and he made that save. And I was like, holy, like that guy, he's locked in today. Like he just finds a way to make saves. I think he was sprawling a little bit, but yeah, like I think Fernando said it in the comments here that where he kicked his leg out. Yeah, but Tarasov, he doesn't look the most like steady and confident in the net, but he finds a way to make saves and he battles, which I like today. He was really battling. That Perfetti goal, I'm not gonna harp on him that because Perfetti's wide open in the net and he might have 3 goals this year, but I don't know if you saw him in juniors like I did and playing on in the juniors, whatever international tournaments. He was good. Like he's got skill, he's got talent. He was a high-rated prospect for a reason. So I'm not going to fault him on that. But what more can you do? That's exactly what you want from your backup goalie. I can pull out the money puck stats for you.
You got that there? Yeah, I just want to get to Chris's comment. We're going to get to more good comments after we go through some more stats here. Chris, I hear what you're saying there, but I thought they turned up their intensity and their forechecking in the first. They just couldn't finish. And Winnipeg's play through the neutral zone, whether that's part of our good job there, but also them not connecting on passes and icings, they just weren't able to connect. I thought their strong part of their game, personally speaking, was their forechecking game. They were turning pucks over on us. I don't know what the turnovers here. We're going to go to Raian here on Money Puck. We could look up maybe the turnovers as well defensively in our own zone there, Raian. I think it wasn't great at times tonight here.
No. So you guys love the deserve to win-o-meter and not a good look.
I haven't looked at that in a while. That's a wild one. I don't know if I agree on that.
It's something I like to look at when we have a close game, just to say. Yeah, but
do you agree? Do you agree with that? 64 Jets?
I'm more of like maybe a 60-40. It's a little high for me. I don't think.
Okay, 60-40 you are? Okay.
Yeah, but there we go with Sam Bennett. And then if we look down here, not good for Mr. Matthew Tkachuk.
Wow. I think the charts are being hard on Matthew tonight.
I think they're hard on him today, yeah.
Okay, let's go through here. Let's take our time through here. Minutes, shots on goal, shot attempts, turnovers, that type of stuff. Go ahead there.
Just where we get the good stuff. Where's the turnovers here?
I'm just wondering defensive turnovers because I felt like there was some in there. And again, they don't always clock this to chart this right, however you want to put it there. There's the giveaways. Defensive.
Yes.
On there. Yeah, just sort it at the top. You can click on it and sort it there.
Yeah.
Wow. Like that's what I was noticing with the first pair. I didn't look at this. I never looked at it. This is what I was noticing with the first pair, especially early on in the first.
Yeah. I noticed that too. I told you, I messaged you. I said I think Forsling is going to be at the bottom of the charts with that because I did notice him giving it away a few times and getting beat a little. And this is like the constant thing we're getting all year where the first pairing is not living up to expectations. For some reason, the analytics still love our first pairing. I think they're rated as like the 14th or 15th best pairing in the league. To me,
hold on. The Ekblad hockey stat cards that I've given you are J-Fresh cards. Those aren't good.
Those aren't good, but that's the thing. These analytics, they're all different. But the ones I'm seeing as a pairing, they're all the way up there. I don't understand, but yeah. But these giveaways need to stop.
Yeah, can we go to shot attempts, get into Mackie a bit, see where he was at with that tonight? Verhaeghe as well. Thought those guys were missing the net. Yeah, there we go. Again, I haven't looked at this, everyone. I have not looked at this tonight. Sometimes I do. I did not look at this tonight. So how many of those hit the net? We might have to scroll over. 3 at least, hopefully 3.
2.
It's not great.
28%? 2 for 7?
So again, like people that I have this poll out there. I don't want to go into it tonight. We're saving it for the next Cats and Rats podcast. It's a poll right now that we have over on Twitter X. It's got, I think, about 200 votes or something. It's like it's starting to lean a little bit more on the negative Mackie side, but there is a definite split between the fan base. Ryan, people think on one side that Mackie has been doing enough this year and trying and applying himself, and even to a degree fitting the system. Other people are getting fed up. He's not scoring. I think he has 1 goal in 25 games. Again, it's not all about scoring, but fans are going to get fed up with his play lately here, and he's really pressing. I think maybe he's lacking some confidence. Where do you fall on the Mackie Samoskevich front?
I was someone who was definitely a big believer in Mackie Samoskevich coming into this year. I've liked what I've seen. I've seen flashes, and I thought he had it in him. And, I'm always a fan of the young guys, as you guys know. Big Spencer Knight fan. Other young guys, I liked the Lawson Krause before we got rid of him. Not too high on Tippett. But anyways, I think it's time to go. It's not working for him. Like, there's some things you see when it comes to a guy when he's young. You can see him building into the player you want. I just don't see him developing properly on our team. And not to think that he's not going to be a great player, but if we can get assets for him that are going to help us win, and he can go to a place like even Justin Sordiff did, where he can get a better opportunity, and maybe it's a team he fits in better. We gotta send him. He's so fast. He just hates hitting the net. There's so many shots I see him. He hits the side of the net. He hits the front row. I don't know if he likes the fans that much. He's trying to give them souvenirs. But for me, it's where we need to. The way the season's going, we need to cut him. Not like obviously waive him, but like trade him for either picks we're getting, or we're getting a good player back to just for a fresh start for him and the team, because we have too many holes right now in this lineup to keep throwing them out there when we have guys like Vilmanis who can literally come up and do better than him with 2 games of NHL experience. So that's just what I think.
And I feel bad for Mackie that it might not be the right
sure.
place in time. He didn't get to play with Barkov this year if he was going to play that high up the line. But I say to the fans that want to keep him, where does he fit now? And where does he fit moving forward? People are like, we don't have players like him right now. But I'm like, that's not a reason to move forward with him, or it's not hurting our cap. There's ways that Zito can maneuver things with retention, with trades, where we can bring different players in, and that can help with our cap situation or different things when it comes to that there, Ryan. So again, it's an interesting topic. We're going to continue to have it on the podcast. I want you to go over, and we can add more on Mackie there in the chat. But I want to go over, just check the minutes tonight, especially from our defense. We didn't know what the Nico Mikkola situation was going to be, which was very scary, because we've learned now Seth Jones will be missing the Olympics and is out of action now long term here, which is very surprising news to me yesterday. So let's see where the minutes were on.
The second I saw that hit the collarbone, because I was at that game, but I was like, oh, it's done. You hit a collarbone like that, oh, he's out for a while. But I would never in a million years, if you told me that Uvis Balinskis would be leading our team in minutes in a game we won, I would have told you you're crazy.
Hold on. Did you sort this?
Yeah, I showed up by time.
Where's Ekblad and Forsling? Are you shitting me? This is sorted. Where's Ekblad and Forsling?
Why didn't it sort?
Oh, thank you. Okay.
No, it's sorted by minutes.
Hit it again.
But
it does not do it.
No, it won't put. Okay, Forsling and Ekblad are number 1.
I don't know. Okay, that was weird. I was like, where the hell are they? Okay, so Blinkus, third on the team in ice time today?
Yeah, third on the team. That makes more sense. 27 minutes.
I had to ask.
Oh, I was about to say, there's no way I would have
left the game. I might have felt like I fell asleep, but I don't think I did. Yeah. So like, I think they were out there. Yeah. So, but go ahead on the minutes and the defense there if we want to touch base. Oh, by the way, this Ryan in the chat is the Tua profile picture. We'll talk about Dolphins at the end of tonight. But Ryan's pulling double duty here, talking to you guys in the chat as well, talking here. Very good, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, it's unbelievable what we're getting. That second pairing with Mikkola, who's been insanely good. I don't think I'm exaggerating. Since Seth Jones went out, he has stepped up, and he's one of the reasons why we're winning these closer games. This guy is blocking shots crazily. He's standing in front of nets. He's using his size for once. We haven't seen it much all year. And if he can play like this when Seth Jones gets back, we have that number 1 pairing again. That's like, what I'll say is that's easily been our best pairing if we can get this Mikkola with the Jones we're getting. But the way, I don't know if he feels comfortable with Balinskis or what it is, but he's been very, very good. And we need it with a lineup of Jeff Petrie and Bjorn Foote on the third pairing, respectfully. That's all. That's all I think. I'm not got too much to say, but shout out to Mikkola.
Yeah. Anything else on there, Ryan, that you want to go through numbers wise? Scroll over where anything else you want to share to our audience here. Appreciate everyone giving us thumbs up. Make sure you're liking this video right now live. Make sure you're also liking this video on the replay tomorrow. As soon as you hear this, hit that like button.
Yeah, rough day on the face-off circle for the boys as well.
Okay, go over that. Yeah, I didn't even check in on that.
Yeah. 8 and 11 for Bennett. That's about his average. Lundell 8 to 7. You know, you live with that. Erod 4 for 6. Like,
Ryan, I think that's all right for a road night.
Yeah,
you're not getting the matchups you want. I'm going to take that. We're not a good face-off team. We get a goal off the face-off. Bennett doesn't win it cleanly. Tkachuk gets there, wins that battle, and then we create that. What a shot by Sam Bennett tonight. We haven't talked about that.
Very nice.
Do that some more, Sam Bennett. I was honestly like, whoa, let me catch that number there for a second. Maybe 9 does have us, Ryan.
Tell Matthew, he'll love it. But
clip it.
Yeah, that was great shot. Off the face-off, they probably planned that too. These guys, they just don't go out there and
no, they don't just go, hey, I'm going to pull back.
That's something they practice. Yeah, that's something they practice for sure. They're not just wing. They do that all the time. They've probably done it 100 times to see if it works. And you just gotta love that when you see that's when they play the best for the buddies. Like David T says, that's another dog getting adopted. So love it.
There we go. I do agree. I do agree with Beef Cat's comment here as well. We talked about Mackie here. The speed's getting him into trouble on these shooting angles, and he's putting things towards the net instead of putting it back to the slot area, holding on to the puck or moving it to the point. He's deciding I'm just going to keep forcing it as a shot because I'm a shooter and I'm going to keep going down that path. Well, that path, you keep going to the well, you're going to fall down that well or you're going to drown, right? So he's got to change up his mindset there. But that's the type of player he is, for good or bad. That's the type. And maybe he's never run into this slump in Michigan or in minor hockey. This might be his big slump, right?
Maybe 11 is just bad luck for Florida.
11, bad luck for Florida. Yeah.
But yeah, it's almost. I think Mackie is very fast, but he's not a good skater. If that makes any sense. Those two, they're not always the same. I would like to say Seth Jones is a guy. He's not too fast, but he's a great skater. And I think Mackie's the opposite, where sometimes he can't, like Beef Cat saying, he can't even control his speed. You know what I mean? It's not doing him favors. He's not using it to his advantage.
Yeah, and like when he came in last year, when wrap around against the Islanders, those type of plays you're not seeing. And again, I think when you lack confidence, you get that puck on your stick and off your stick half a second quicker. And half a second means everything in the NHL with the best on best players in the world. So instead of holding on to that puck and surveying the play, hey, maybe I got a late trailer coming to the net, or I can get it back to the point, or maybe I got a wraparound attempt on this. He's just doing the same thing. It seems like over and over, and he's even further out, taking further shots. This is where they got to show him in film session. Hey, this is where you're shooting the puck before your slump. This is where you're shooting from now. As a basketball coach, I talk about that on film. Why are you falling back on your shot? Why are you not going straight up with your shot? And different things
yeah. So, and then it was a bad matchup too for him. I think the Winnipeg Jets, their fourth line is very, very, very good. I was very impressed with that. Barron was incredible. Yeah. I think they were dominant every time they were on the ice. They were getting momentum. So it's kind of tough because I think they matched up against that third line a couple times. And you could tell they're just getting pinned. Even the Bennett line was getting pinned.
No, the Bennett line and the first pairing, Ekblad and Forsley
were getting pinned by the fourth line.
Yeah. They were getting buried by. And they said, the Jets broadcast, which they're right on this, they said coming into this matchup, we talked to Scott Arniel, the head coach of the Jets, and said, we've got an advantage with the bottom six with all these Panther players out. So that was their plan, wear them down early, and they did. They just weren't able to get a goal from Scheifele, from Kyle Connor, that type of thing. But I think they had the right game plan coming in, try to wear down the Panthers early. But the Panthers kind of survived that flurry. And then, second period was low event. And then the third, both teams came out, right? And competed and stuff like that. So I just want to get, before we go to the break here, now, actually, let's come back from the break. Let's talk about the Mackie trade proposals. There's some in our chat here, Ryan. You can throw up comments too if you see them. I think, are you able to do that? Or no? No, okay. I'll just go back and throw them up. I want to get into as well with you. I'm going to take that off the screen here. I want to get in as well with you about a goalie union question. Ryan is part of the goalie union in our group chat. I want to bring something into the equation there that kind of ties into Bob and Tarasov and kind of how the fan base is feeling right now with this team. A lot of people, again, even people here in our community, David T, you could speak for yourself here in the chat. Maybe this isn't our year. Maybe it's, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it's time to maybe pack her in. I want to talk about when it comes to our goaltending and where we're at right now with the goalies, and then moving forward, where we're the year that we're in here right now. And I'm going to give my feedback, my take, and then I want to know your guys'. I'm going to mention some other stuff to Ryan after we come back. And then when we do come back from the break as well, we're going to get into the next games here on this road trip, the Minnesota Wild and the Chicago Blackhawks. So before we do, yeah, what's that, Ryan?
That'll be a good game. Good couple.
Yeah, we'll get into both of those games since it will be a back-to-back here and everything like that. But we will go to our break here. Shout out to our sponsor, Caneswear.
Panthers fever is here. Are you geared up? Caneswear in Davie is the place for all your Florida Panthers needs. They have the latest gear for our favorite NHL team. Jerseys, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. Caneswear has you covered. Stop by their store in Davie or at pantherswear.com. Again, that's pantherswear, WEAR.com for all your Panthers gear.
And another shout out from our great sponsor, Jeremy Beckham at Beck Sells FLA. Hey, Panther fans in South Florida need real estate help? Check out Jeremy Beckham with Next Home Treasure Coast. It's a boutique service with a personal touch. Jeremy and his team put humans over houses, working hard for you whether you're buying or selling. Ready to move? Hit up BeckSellsFLA.com. Again, that's BeckSellsFLA.com or call 772-475-5371. Now you'll be glad you did. And also, I want to do this off the top. I did forget. Make sure that you're subscribing to our channel here. Hit that subscribe button. Still about 30% of you that do visit our channel are not subscribed. Just hit that. It just takes a couple seconds. It's free. Like our video. Make sure you like our other videos this week as well. Check out the Matthew Tkachuk return pregame video. We had a lot of fun with that one. As well, NHL After Dark with our guy Jim Behringer. We have everything time-stamped over there, so very easy viewing. Go over there. It's not like you're listening. You don't know what you're listening to. All time-stamped there. A lot of Panther stuff there last week as well. Different trade stuff that we're going to get into here in a second, Ryan, on Artemi Panarin. You can purchase a super chat donation. You can purchase that donation anytime when we're live. We appreciate those donations. Buy your own membership. We have the gold, silver, and bronze membership. Remember, right now over on our members only page here on YouTube, go check it out. We are giving away tickets to the Buffalo Sabres and Florida Panthers. Go check that thread out. If you are a gold or silver member, go check that out. You can gift a membership as well to other members. You can upgrade your membership if you are a bronze member. We do some gold and silver stuff. We are going to do some bronze member contests as well. We've just had a lot of different people from outside the community kind of get gifted memberships. So I want to make sure that we're giving back to the people that are here every night, you guys, you gold and silver members. We want to make sure we're giving back to you guys with some of these great contests that we have. And as well, access to many other great perks that we will have as the season goes along here. So Ryan, as I get everything set up here, can we just get into kind of the Panarin stuff? Like Mackie fans were messaging me today, like, the Rangers should have 99% retention. Therefore, we can give them Mackie and a couple picks. It's not really how it works in the NHL. We're not saying never say never, but people are trying to make up those Panarin. But do we really need to address Panarin, a winger on this team, when we're getting, Brad Marchand hopefully back here soon, Matthew Tkachuk, or do we need to address other parts of the roster? What say you?
We have too many holes. Winger is not a hole. We have some of the strongest wingers in the league when everyone's healthy. We just got Tkachuk back. This is a one-dimensional aging winger that wants to contract into his 40s. He just announced. It's just not feasible. It's not the biggest need for our team, and that's a guy, like, if we trade for, he's not a team that's going to make us go over the hump. That's not a guy who's stealing us all these points and putting up back to a playoff spot. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. If we were doing a little better, and let's say we're in the third spot in the division, and we make a trade for Panarin, that's a guy who can put us to that level of championship contender, like we've done with, to a very lesser extent, respectfully, Tarasenko or a similar guy like Marchand last year. Those are the guys. That's when you acquire wingers. When your team is set and you're built and you're already in the playoffs, you're a contender. That's when you acquire wingers. We're not on that spot this year, unfortunately. Wingers are always a complementary piece. Even the best ones, they will never win you a game like a big center or an elite defenseman or an elite goalie. They're just that extra piece. And right now we're not looking for extra. We need those defensemen. So we don't have Bjorn Foot, respectively, and Petrie in the lineup playing these 15, 16 minutes a night. We need center depth with Barkov being gone. We've been shown that it's a lot. We have an Erod who's a winger playing center 40 games a year. Like, for us, like, this is not the player we need right now. Right now, with Bob getting even older as he is, we're getting serious regression from.
Hold on the goalie stuff. Hold on the goalie
stuff.
I'm
not going to get there. But we're getting serious regression from Forsling and Ekblad this year. Are we really in the stage, in the time to go trade some little assets we have left for another winger that's aging and, only getting worse and wants more money for long term? Like, that's my opinion. I'm not a Panarin guy, but I like what I saw from him. I'm not saying I'm not a Panarin guy like his old career. I think he's done some crazy good things. We are really getting him at a not ideal spot. Last year, sure. Last year we trade for him and we don't get Marchand in a hypothetical world. That's when you want to get a Panarin guy. Not right now.
And you'd want to get a Panarin with his last year where he has that year, and then this year where he's not strictly a rental, if you can work it with your cap. But I don't see how we're going to work this with our cap moving forward. So if we're going to trade Mackie and bring in Panarin, do you guys know what he wants? He's asking for 12, 13 million. So are you guys going to be fine with asking for 2-3 million more than Barkov, 3-4 million more than Matthew Tkachuk? I know the cap's going up, but I think this is not a guy that fits with Paul Maurice. And this is a guy that you're going to go forward with and move one of your young blue chippers, one of your young guys in Mackie Samoskevich for that. I would rather move him. People might think it's crazy for a Zach Whitecloud or maybe a slightly higher defenseman that you're going to keep not only now, Ryan, but moving forward.
100%, because that's a hole we have. Like, especially with Ekblad, usually he misses games. Knocking on wood, he's been a little healthier. But you can't, if you're trading a guy like Mackie or these little assets we have, you gotta trade these assets for guys that are staying here long term and have future on the team, not these little rentals when we're not a cup contender. Only cup contenders should trade for rentals. So a guy like Zach Whitecloud would be perfect. I mean, he had a point today against
last
night. I mean,
the deflection in front.
Yeah, he's been good in Calgary. So that's a guy who I totally agree with you. And I know you've been saying that name for years about Whitecloud.
Right? And if you put Mackie to Calgary, my city, not far from you, fans are going to be upset because they're like, why do we have this defenseman that's aging and older? Well, look at our core. Our core is aging, and that's what Bill Zito has said. We're going to add to our core, and it's not going to be in ways that maybe some of you fans are going to like because it's older veteran guys that fit with this window of winning. Now, we're not saying Mackie could go to Calgary and score 25, 30 goals. Good on him. That's not going to hurt us, though. They're in the other conference. They're not within our division. Like I said with Spencer Knight trade, and we can talk about this when we get into goaltending here in a second, Ryan. I said, don't trade him to Montreal. And again, they had Fowler and all these guys. Don't trade him to Ottawa. Do not put him in our division. If we're going to move him, put him way out west, and it's not going to hurt us. Now, one day in 5 years, if we're playing Chicago in the Stanley Cup and we're on our last legs and Spencer Knight's playing against us, so be it. Yeah, but it's not going to hurt us, right? Like, we won a cup last year with Seth Jones, and he was a driving force in that. So again, I don't think Mackie's on the level of Spencer Knight of driving a team to a cup, right? Or have a shot at doing that.
No shot. Like, you were totally right with the Knight thing. It's like, first of all, he's better than all these 1C goalies in Montreal. They're in a cycle of, oh, this guy's our next goalie. He had 2 good games in a row. He starts to suck. Then they go to the next one in their system, and it's like a huge cycle. So
hold on. I like Fowler, but I don't know what you think on that.
You told me you like Montembeault. What happened to him now? People were chanting the streets for Dobis. Oh, next great goalie, young goalie.
I said to Cody, bring Fowler up this year. And he's like, he ain't ready. Well, he's looked ready this year. Look at his numbers.
Cody Allen. But give it 3 weeks. Fowler's going to be back they're going to be back in the rotation.
I know we're going way off topic. I think Fowler is in the same tier as Spencer Knight, young, promising USA goaltender. No. Ryan, you need to be here on Sunday.
You told me Wall was better than Spencer Knight, and look what happened.
I like Wall.
Yeah, but he's going. Oh, sorry. I know goalie talk, but do you see that rumor about Anthony Stolarz? When he comes back, they're saying he might go move.
Why? They're trading Stolarz. His new contract hasn't even started yet.
That's what I heard. That's what I'm saying. Don't quote me, but if you get traded, you heard it here first. Okay.
I've heard it. Okay, this is David. He's leading us down the path here. I think I'm going to be on one side of this debate. You might be on the other, Ryan. I want you guys to know in the chat. So what I was thinking today was I'm seeing it already. Bob needs rest. Hey, like if we're waving the white flag, let's get Tarasov more starts, see where he's at and all that. I just think it doesn't align with what Bill Zito wants to do here. We're going for a wild card spot right now. And if you forego Bob this year and you're not liking per se how Bob's been playing, what do you think he is going to be next year? So my question is to you guys, the audience, the chat, do you not want to bring Bob back next year? Because I think the organization, 80-90% as it stands right now, wants to bring him back. And if we're not going to bring him back, what is our contingency plan next year when a lot of you guys in the Cats and Rats community and Panther fan base thinks we're going to win a Stanley Cup next year, 3 years and 4? What is our goalie situation going to look like if you don't want Bob here? We've got Tarasov, and we're just going to go find another guy. And, like, that's going to be cup contending level. Isn't that closer to what the Oilers were doing, some of these other teams are doing, than what we would want to do here with Bob? Now, we have to know and see what Bob is going to be the rest of the year. And going into next year, nothing is a given. But I think the organization is trying to bring him back, Ryan. But if fans are so out at this point, which I'm not there at all, and don't want to bring him back, what is the prospects of going into next year when a lot of you think we have a better chance of winning the Stanley Cup than we do this year? Ryan?
So I'd like to say Bob has given this organization very good playoff runs, few good years in here. And when his contract's up, that's $10 million off the book. Is it 1 year after this one, or is this the last year?
Last year.
It's the last year, right?
Pretty sure on that. You guys can check. Pretty positive.
Yeah. I'm on the side where you're not paying him another $10 million. Like, I get it. He's been one of the best goalies in the league over the last few years of his contract. You cannot pay him $10 million. That's a no. I think you have to, if you're bringing him back, he's in a tandem. And he's getting max $4.5 million. I think.
Okay, hold on. And a comment here from our guy David, our moderator. He's in a tandem. Don't you think he'd be leading this tandem with Tarasov? So fans think that he's going to be the backup next year. And I want to speak for everyone. And Bob's going to be our backup. And Tarasov's going to take us on this big run that a lot of you thought was Stolarz, that a lot of you thought with Alex Lyon. I don't know if I'm there or even close to being there with Tarasov. I'm not saying it's out of the question next year, Ryan, but I'm not anywhere near that. And that's what fans were like trying to angle for when we're in this cup window. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you too. I've seen a lot of like, oh, Tarasov's our future number one. Look at this, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't see that. But I can't make the argument for bringing back Bob if you're giving him term and multiple, like over 5-6 million, and you're giving him term. I can't get behind that. I know you have to respect the guy for what he's done. He's won us 2 cups. But what we're seeing from this year is average goaltending. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. He's had some games where you can say, oh, these ones aren't his fault. These goals, you can't expect him to save those. That's on the defense. This is all true. But like I've seen for years, the good to great goalies in the league are great because they make those saves they're not supposed to make. Along with, he's been letting in a lot of goals really early into games and on some shots that you'd love to have back. For me, I think he's not going to get better next year. Like David says, I trust in the goaltending department that if they do find another guy to step up, they can. There's just my max extension. I'm giving him 2 years if he wants, and I'm around that $5 million at the max mark. And we have to make sure that he's not playing more than 45, 50 games a year. It's not okay. You got to give this guy maximum that many, and you have to have a solid 10, whether it's Tarasov or a different guy. Bob is literally 37 right now. Aging goaltenders are very rarely kept good. Jonathan Quick is one of those guys where excellent goalie. I would say Jonathan Quick in his prime is very comparable to Sergei Bobrovsky career-wise. 2 cups each, multiple Vezinas. Is that a fair comparison to make?
To what? Sorry, Ryan, I was just in the chat.
Jonathan Quick and Bobrovsky?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
you could make an argument for either, but look at him. He's been an excellent backup goalie for the Rangers, but with Shesterkin out, and when he's been asked to carry the starter load, he's looked terrible.
But I think Bob has better fitness. He's better in shape. He's an all-world athlete when it comes to that. Jonathan Quick lived a lot off of his athletic ability, and when you don't have that anymore, it's like a fast winger or a fast skater. You don't have that.
But still, my point is, like, I think Bob has it in him. I just don't think he has it consistently in him. So if we do get another guy, I'm fine with keeping Bob as a 1B if you need in an ideal world and not paying him all that money, because I don't think Bob is just garbage all of a sudden, like what the analytics says in his stats. I don't think he's playing like an 880 goalie. I don't think he's a bottom 3 money puck goal saved above expected goal in the league. But I just don't think he's that star guy who's going to be carrying you to wins when we're getting outplayed. If deserved to win meter is 70-30, we're not winning those games with Bob this year anymore. So
yeah, can I jump in? Ryan was with me on the goalie tier rankings, and Ryan, you were on my side with my co-host Nick Levine, saying the Vasi side over the Bob. And our fan base was getting really mad at us. And I'm always defending Bob, but I'm like, everyone relax. They wanted us to crown Bob number 1, number 2 because of the playoff stuff. I always try to find that right spot for him, like below Igor, below Sorokin, below Vasi, below.
They didn't let me put him below Sorokin.
What?
They didn't let me put him below Sorokin.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen, right? So
just saying, I was right.
But Ryan, okay, I want to counter a couple things here. Yeah. What does this mean about us?
They also put Skinner and Spencer Knight on the same tier, so just that whole tier list needs to get started again.
Oh, you're upset at us about that one, I think. Whatever. But go back. There's a lot of wins there. But let's just go back to Spencer Knight thing. And are we just not going to address this because we want a Stanley Cup with Seth Jones? But why did they move out Spencer Knight if they aren't going to go forward with Bob? And you're saying a timeshare. Are you talking about a timeshare next year with Tarasov? Or are you talking about another guy coming in for Bob? Because fans aren't going to like that if Tarasov's on his way out, whether we're not going to pay him or he wants to go somewhere else. So what's your situation there?
For me, it's right now I'm just waiting on Tarasov because we've seen good stretches from him. We've seen good things. I think if the organization thinks we can compete for Stanley Cup, let's say Barkov is fully healthy and everything, and you have that extra money, then I say, you know what? Get an upgraded net. It's available. I'm sure you can find one. If we're still 50-50, the cap's a little tighter, we have guys to extend, you can roll with Tarasov for another year if we need, because I would not be surprised if when Bob does retire, if Tarasov's here, I feel like he could be a 1B for a few years.
Yeah, you're not saying starter, but you can see him staying here, and they give him that 1-year extension in the summer if he's willing to take that. Now, if he plays so well down the stretch or different things, he might price himself out, and when the team's not going to bring him back, that's going to upset people because they're like, what are we going to do with an aging Bob? And now who is our goalie? But like David mentioned in the chat earlier, I trust the goaltending department, and that's where I'm at. I trust the goaltending department. And whether you guys don't like what their say is on Bob, I trust them. And I know they're very favorable on him. And that might upset some of you. There could be a deal extension place. A lot of people didn't like the Brad Marchand extension. I did. I'm like, okay, if we're in with all these other contracts, if we're in with Ekblad, whose body is breaking down now, I'm in with Marchand. You know what I mean?
I agree with you completely. Like you said, the way the organization is going, they've very prioritized win now. And I don't know if their plan was long-term success almost. It almost felt like they found this really small window they could find. And they're like, instead of having an 8-10 year window that a lot of teams we've seen do, like Tampa Bay in the past, Chicago, where, they win 1 or 2 and they're competitive for those years. They said, let's just go all in completely and screw the last half of the dynasty. Let's win as many as we can right in a row, if that makes any sense. I think that's why they kept Bob and left Knight. That's why Ekblad got that deal. That's why Marchand is getting all these long-term deals for these guys who, in a dynasty, like what we've seen is, look at Chicago when they let a guy like Brian Campbell go. Is just the first thing that came in my head was that guy got that bigger, that contract while he was on the decline somewhere else. That dynasty wasn't fully over, but he kind of moved his way on. And that's what I think teams that think more future-wise, like Chicago did during the years, where they were like, we let the aging guys a little go and instead focus on the now and see how we can maximize the next 2 to 3 years and just ignore the future. It's okay if we suck in 4 years. We have these aging contracts on the bench. The fans will be happy that we won the 3 here. So that's just what I think. I think it was very, very risky. It wasn't thought of long-term. It was, let's build it now. And hopefully we have a mini rebuild and the culture stays from when we won 3 in a row. Hopefully the fan base stays. They can hold on to that. It's not like the team is just, like we were before. We'll make the playoffs 1 year. will be a second round exit one year. Oh, maybe we'll go to another cup final. No, it was let's focus on the now. Spencer Knight, you're not starting the next 2 years because we have Bob. You can leave. We can look what we can get for you. So just things like that. I guess the same thing with Mackie. Are you going to be a useful player on this team for the next couple of years? No, you're gone. That's what I'm at. So that's what I think. The goalie's position is the most interesting thing. We've lost so many young goalies.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to push back on some of the Knight stuff here. I don't think it was about talent or ability. Again, he won the player assistance program. Things that I've heard, I think there was clash between what certain people thought within the goaltending department and Spencer Knight's camp and things like that. Also, the money that he was making, he really got one over on Zito by getting $1 million and a half more on the deal than what he should have got. They're worried about an offer sheet there. So I think they're trying to be diligent with where the cap is at, not just because Bob's on a $10 million deal, Ryan. I think they want to keep Tarasov at a very competitive number so they can address and strengthen other parts of the roster when they're not up against the cap.
$2.5 million. You give them I can't see them going more than that, but you're right. No, I think goaltending is definitely the biggest question mark of this team going forward. We know what we have in our wingers. Most of our D-men are locked up for the long term. It's all about goaltending, and that's who said Cooper Black. Ban this mod. No, ban this guy in the chat. We're not talking
Who's there?
Really, David? It's not even Matthew or Jamie telling me Cooper Black. It's our own.
It's mod on mod. It's mod on mod here.
Ban this guy. Ban this guy, chat. Crazy. But that's, I don't know. For me, I've been wondering this for like the last 6 years, I think, since we signed a $10 million contract. Or no, I guess we had Knight. Since we traded Knight, I've really been wondering what are they going to do. And that's why I think it was so important they won last year. And
I think it would have caused a lot of anger with you and frustration moving from that last year. If we lost in the second round to Toronto and then what we're going through this year, Ryan, I know you would have been frustrated. You're a big Spencer Knight guy.
Yeah. I would have lost. Me and Antonio would be talking about the Blackhawks games in the chat right now.
But instead, it's a Kirby L and a Nick J. Levine W on Seth Jones breaking news video. By the way, guys, that's a good segue here. I have organized everything on our playlist, so you can go over there, check out the Seth Jones Trade Day episode. We've got the Matthew Tkachuk one up now. I've organized a lot of the stuff for nations, even Olympic coverage we've started with here. So go over there, click on a playlist, just let it run through on your laptop, your TV when you're doing things. Just as kind of background noise. You don't have to listen to everything that we said back then. Just helps with our watch time hours. And
before you go to bed,
catch up on stuff you missed as well.
Before you go to bed, you put it on.
That's right. There we go, Ryan. Ryan's great. Ryan's a moderator for a reason. He's always there, always liking the tweets, always promoting the brand. So appreciate Ryan here. Like, we want to have Ryan on more, but like he's doing stuff behind the scenes, helping us with moderator. Ryan's been busy as well. So we are going to have Ryan with us here, hopefully in February, for some of our Team Canada coverage and other Olympic coverage as well. But I need you in here on Team Canada. Man, I'm going to be up early, Ryan. We're going to be up early, man. Both of us.
Oh, yeah. These games are like 6 a.m. for us. So I guess before I go to work, I'll be watching this game and here with you guys. But seeing Jamie in the chat, Jamie, go back to like the first, I think 7 minutes. I keep doing this. I'm sorry, guys. I gave you a shout out for your Vilmonis take. I said Jamie W. So I just want to let you know there. You see him here. Thorns of Chaos. It's our guy, Jamie.
There we go, Jamie. There we go. I'm not going to put some stuff in the chat right now on the screen that I'm seeing. But anyway, I digress from there. But we will be doing Olympic coverage. Our guy Big C's is going to be here with me. Our guy Ben overseas in Wales. So we're going to try to coordinate on our different times. C's in the Eastern time zone, me in the mountain. Ben's 7-8 hours ahead of us. Ryan's going to be here with the Canada stuff. Yeah, we get the raw deal with the Canada stuff here in these early times for BC and Alberta. I think the US, they play a little bit later. So we'll be doing some of the USA stuff too, but we're going to check with our guy Cody and Nick on that if they're going to be holding down any of that. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of that. We're not going to be live streaming every game. We will highlight certain games we're going to live stream. And then we want to do like this Olympic post-game recap show. So we're just giving you guys a little bit behind the scenes here today. And that's how that's going to look here as we approach the Olympic break here.
Yeah. And I don't know about everyone in the chat though, but that Olympic game could be at 4 a.m. It could be at 5 a.m. It does not matter what time it is. I am sat watching that full of excitement. I've been waiting way too long, 12 years for this again. So look at Vince knows what's going to happen. So I don't care what time it is. I'm going to be there. I'm gonna be.
Did you see tonight? I know you guys might not care in the chat and all that, but I'm going to ask my guy Ryan. It's on set here. Did you see the Sportsnet CBC commercial today for the Olympics?
Oh, it's looking good. It's
looking good. And by the way, everyone, so you guys know they had Canada in the commercial, USA. They friggin' had Germany, Czech Republic, Sweden, and all the nations. Okay. Yeah. So they do a good job of like taking the bias out and like saying, hey, this is best on best hockey. Let's put David Pasternak on here. Leon. Yeah. So they put guys in the States that are playing on teams. They put guys on Canada that are playing on teams here like Leon Draisaitl. Really well done commercial. And it hyped me up tonight, Ryan.
Yeah. And then do you want to go quick around the NHL?
Yes, we can do that. What was the question on Jose there? Just to mention there was something on Tkachuk.
Oh, yeah. We had a Tkachuk puck winner you're trying to get in contact with, wasn't it?
Tkachuk, no, the framed photo. We are still trying to get word from Jay Osceola. Jay Osceola, we have put you in our members only chat. You gave me a handle. If you're listening to this, I don't think he's been in the chat here. I can't find that on Twitter. I need another handle, another way to contact you. He just he said something to me personally off air. He's been away. So again, Jay Osceola, we're looking for you in the members only chat so we can mail that Matthew Tkachuk thing to you. Give you a few more days, week here. But we got to get some information from you. You did get a hold of me, but I can't get a hold of you from that information. So give me an email, give me some other social media handle in that members only chat here so I can verify it's you, and then we can get a hold of you for that. Our next one coming up is probably going to be a Brad Marchand. Right now, we're giving away the tickets. So if you're a local fan, again, just as another plug here, if you are a local fan to the area, go like this episode 67. But I need you to go to the members only chat. We're keeping track of everyone there. And if you're interested, just write, I'm interested in the ticket giveaway. Write it in the members only chat, gold and silver members, and we'll do a draw here at the end of the month.
Yeah. Right? And now to around the NHL. We did not get a lot of help today with Boston winning. You know, they beat Vegas, so I can't complain about that. And the Sabres won. They beat the Canadiens, so there was at least one team lose. It didn't go to overtime. But holy with Ottawa. Up 3-0 versus the Nashville Predators, one of the worst teams in the league. I have Sanderson on my fantasy team, so I get the little notification, Sanderson points or whatever. I go to look, and it's 3-3, and I was like, they really blew a 3-0 lead. I go look again 10 minutes later, and it's 5-3. They blew a 3-0 lead to Nashville, and Steven Stamkos scores a hat trick. Can't believe I'm going against him in fantasy. These guys love to score hat tricks against me, but irrelevant. But Nashville is coming back against Ottawa and smoked them. So I was like, what is wrong with Ottawa, man? Like, they really need Allmark to get some help and be back because he might be their savior. They're in a rough spot.
He hasn't been their savior this year, so I don't know if he can come back from taking time away. I don't think he's not officially in the player assistance program, but from his time away, if he can come back here. But what was it the other night there? Nashville, they were down 3-0 or 4-0 to Buffalo, and they almost tied it up at 4. They came back.
Are they the new comeback Cats? They comeback catfish?
Catfish, right? Something there. Something in the water.
Yeah, the Caps have been a huge slump. Good for us. And then, it's just crazy to see because Ottawa's, I think they're at first in least goals expected goals let in. Like, they give up the least high danger chances. Like,
all their defensive metrics are really good.
Very, very good. It's literally just goaltending. So
that's a Kirby W because I said Travis Green needs to come into Ottawa and change their system because they got 5 guys that don't want to play defense.
And now they play defense.
They can't find a save. But like our guy Cody Stevens says, a goalie can get you fired.
Yep.
If you can't find a save, goalie's going to get you fired, right? We saw that in Minnesota.
Pretty cool. Yeah, right? Might happen to him. And then Columbus, they shut out Dallas 1-0. Maybe the only game that was more boring than ours. That's a Jet Greaves W. I know, Kirby, you got him on your team too, so you'll get a shutout for that one.
Oh, Jet Greaves tonight. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'm playing Carly, I think, this week. So
I was like, I need her to beat you so I can stay up top on you in fantasy.
No. I'm going to stay ahead of you in the Northwest International Division. That's what we call the division. We got the North with me and Ryan up here in Canada. The great country of Canada. In the West, we got Lex over in California there. And then international, we got our boy Don Banya in Finland, our guy Ben Saunders in Wales. So we got that whole division. And then some of the North we count as well for people that are in Northern Florida. So pretty cool. Right?
No, our division's good. It's dangerous.
We're international too. So.
Yeah, Carly's number 1 in the league. We got it's definitely a good one. And then the last couple games, we had Holy, the Penguins. I wish I had a belt on me right now because they just laid belt to ass to the Oilers 6-2. Absolutely spanked them. They scored 3 goals in 37 seconds. That game was over in the first period. We have
Who was in net?
Tristan Jarry and Shilvos, I believe.
Oh, but, she loves me. She loves.
Yeah, she loves. I have one like big TV in the living room, and when the Panthers and Oilers play at the same time, me and my sister, will fight over it, see who gets it.
Oh boy.
So
what was wrong with Dougie Hamilton? The Devils taking them down there the other night. They couldn't score a goal, Edmonton.
He stinks.
Oh, everyone, can you say to Kirby and things that we've talked about in our community, maybe Leon Draisaitl is important. He's just not a Connor McDavid merchant. He won the MVP when Connor McDavid was injured one year, everyone. I don't like the Leon Draisaitl slander. This guy's a player. You guys are going to see him in the Olympics next month.
Yeah, you're going to like him. But no, but that was hilarious. My sister was like, I'm not watching this. You can keep watching your game. I was like, thank you.
Then she might be done at that point there. So
yeah, no, she didn't even turn on the game. She's like, I'm leaving.
I didn't know this news from Vince here too. Now, okay, we are converting.
Shout out to that Reinhardt, good player to have. And then my favorite game, Cody should love this. The Carolina Hurricanes lost. They almost came back against the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks were up like 3-2 late in the third, and or middle of the third, and Carolina scored to tie it, and then they went to a shootout just like us, but Chicago beat Carolina in the shootout. Big game from Knight. This guy constantly big games for me. Love him on my fantasy team.
Are we gonna see Knight on Sunday?
I think we're gonna see him on Sunday, and I think
because he's got this Saturday they don't play, right?
No, they play Friday against Tampa, and the Blackhawks backup goalies have been so bad. Like Soderblom, and they had some other guy playing. They're like,
you think they're going to throw the backups to the Wolves against Tampa, or they're going to go night?
I think they might just go night. No.
They might go night on Sunday.
They'll go. That's a good one. No. They'll give Soderblom will play versus Tampa tomorrow. They're not going to give Knight back to back and then 3 games in 4 days. That's crazy. But
what the hell is this comment from Frosty here? First, the other night we have Nick's roommate in here saying Trevor Zegras is the best player in the NHL, and now we got this. Draisaitl's the poor man's Gage Gonzalez. What are we doing here? What's going on with the chat? The chat's broken again. Remember the days of Spaces when Maxime Amam and he's giving me a Yevgeny Malkin vibes. I still don't know who that caller.
That was peak. That was the funniest thing ever. I love that.
Guys, if we add callers into this, we can't have takes like this.
Yeah. We put him on the first line, and he's the only guy that Barkov hasn't been able to look at least competent, man.
Man, but some of these comments sometimes get me. But
that's hilarious. That totally threw me off. Draisaitl, the poor man, Gage can go.
Jamie, I want Merrick Alsner is who I wanted called up if Mikkola was going to miss extended time. That's who I wanted to be called up. I know Havroka. We could have maybe looked at him as well, but I thought Alsner would have been a good guy to pair with. Who would he have been pairing with now? With Belinkus maybe? I don't know. I'd have to look at the pairings there again. And then you would have Petrie down there, I guess, with friggin' Bjornfot. But I'm glad that we have Mikkola back because I didn't even want to go down that path.
And then now that we're talking about my favorite players here, another one of my favorites, Vladimir Tarasenko, a guy who, I don't know if you guys know this, I was like huge Tarasenko fan way before he even came to Florida. Like when I heard the rumors, I was so excited. But anyways, he had like 5 goals in 6 games or something like that. He's been unreal as well. Like Boldy's been out, and Eriksson Ek, he just had his first game back today. And Tarasenko stepped up in Boldy's role, been playing top line minutes and scoring all these goals, looking like he's 2017 again. Because that guy, stud. Love that guy.
Now, you could have had Tarasenko all year in our Cats or Rats Fantasy League, but you kind of dropped him, picked him up. I picked him up. Other people picked him up, dropped him, all that stuff. Now, like, he's been on fire here the last
And I have him now.
I have back-to-back 2-goal games?
Yeah. Back-to-back. The second, when Boldy went down, Tarasenko, I got a notification they moved up to top 3 or top 6. I picked him up, and he's been great for me because I didn't have him full-time because I have Eriksson Ek and Boldy. I don't want to end up like Nick's fantasy football team where he just half his team's from Minnesota. It's not a winning system like we saw.
It's the Minnesota. We're going to get into football before I let you go here in a few minutes. It's not the Minnesota Knicks anymore. It's going to be the Atlanta Knicks because he believes in this Kevin Stefanski. I think he loves them more than Paul Maurice. So we're going to see how that turns out next year with the Falcons. I said, Nick, you better put futures and you better put money on the line there. But Tarasenko, great former Cat, doing well.
And we played him on Saturday.
Nate Schmidt is on fire right now.
Schmidt, another guy on fire. Yeah.
Nate Schmidt, Brandon Montour back in the lineup. He's collecting assists. He's playing minutes. Give him credit, Ryan.
Him and Colvin has been really good on Seattle.
Well, Lombard's putting the puck in the back of the net here the last 2-3 weeks. He's got a few goals.
It is pretty funny, though, now that David T mentioned it. We're playing both my favorite X's back-to-back games on the weekend. So the Tarasenko and Knight. That's funny.
That's right. Back-to-back. Ryan's all-star team here.
Yeah, honestly.
You need to have Jamie make one of those things like I have the all-star team with like Reinhardt, Barkov.
We'll make one of three.
You need to have one of those with like Tarasenko and
Boone Jenner.
Boone Jenner would be the whole thing. Would be the whole bubble. And then it all connects to Boone Jenner like he's the freaking coach.
Shout out to Boone Jenner. I officially have a source close to his new head coach. So hopefully I can get some nice Boone Jenner stuff. We'll see though.
Ryan used to be a bit of the source for the Winnipeg Jets, but now you're maybe.
Might be the Blue Jackets. I don't know. Maybe you guys can find something in common. I don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes
it's not who you guys think either. It's not who you guys think. Obvious guess. Yeah,
Look into the why did I know so much about the Canada Juniors team this year? I don't know. Like there's something there.
Oh, I wish we would have had some guys on there.
That's all you're getting. Yeah, if we had some guys in there, I'd go in a bit more. But no, that's it.
No. So okay. Before I let you go,
football.
Thoughts on your Miami Dolphins today, general manager, head coach?
All right. I would, because I know we have some Dolphins fans here. First, I want to say, rip Miami Hurricanes. That was so tough. If they had Cam Ward, we all know that would have won. It was just brutal. I didn't want to talk about it. Poor Vince. I'm subjecting him. He's finally here, and look what I do to him. But that
shout out to Canes where they did a great job the past couple weeks. Pep rallies.
I hope they're getting.
They had rap videos going on in their store. Like big week. They haven't been able to get back to me yet. They said, Curry, I'll get back to you here in the next week, but I'll just hang in there. So shout out to Canes where I know it's not the end result that they wanted, but really good for like a really small business and a brand that has supported us since the beginning here at the Cats and Rats.
Yeah. Oh, and I met Ken the other day from Canes. We're at the Winter Classic. Yeah. Nicest guy. What a nice guy. He's a great guy. So they're a great group of guys there. So shout out to them. But that is the first conference or I've seen from a head coach and assistant and a head coach and a GM where no one stuttered and it felt so nice to hear. It was just straight speech. They sounded like tough guys. I don't think anyone's going to be late to Jeff Hafley's practice like they were for McDaniels. We have a real grown man in charge. And my favorite part about it was if you don't have a Patrick Mahomes or whatever, or Josh Allen, I'm paraphrasing, we're just going to keep drafting quarterback. And I think Miami, their biggest weakness was they just didn't draft no quarterbacks. It was like Skylar Thompson was our backup for a couple of years, and we're drafting Quinn Ewers in the 7th. Why not start taking guys in the 4th, 5th? These guys aren't usually impact guys. They just take a flyers on some quarterbacks. Worst case scenario, you find a great backup. So that's what I liked. And
we found our quarterback in the 4th round. He's still
exactly yeah. Shout out to Dak. He's a great guy. Like I'm a big fan of him, honestly. Like I like to hate on you guys because Cowboys fans, but wow, like I went into the GM process and he was one of my top 2 guys. It was either him or Chad Alexander. So I'm happy. And then I'm not gonna lie, I was really disappointed with Hafley before I heard him talk.
Okay, after today, I'm kind of the opposite. And then like Hafley, I thought was really good on the stand. He's like, I'm not a man of many words. I thought he spoke very well.
Very well.
GM, what's the GM again? Sorry for my
Sullivan.
I thought he kind of stumbled over the words a little bit and kind of like the direction of the team. Hafley came in there and really picked him up. So I'm like, okay, you can speak. Now he said it's about actions and it's about culture. And like you said, guys, hey, I always said the Toronto Maple Leaf thing. Why are you guys playing music in practice and all this shit?
It's so stupid. Right? Yeah.
Like I thought that was corny too, right?
Yeah. Oh, so corny. And the whole thing, all of that, no. And with
dancing around and dapping the guys up like part of the team.
GM, I'm fine with him being some smart nerd analyst. Who cares? Like, that's fine. The coach, I wanted to be a real man. We were not a desirable job, like Vince just said. And he is huge. Like, he's such a leader. And I feel like if he's running the defense, we'll invest more in the defense. And he's also talked about how he cares. He wants to play bigger. And he came from a division where it's all cold games. That NFC North is tough. And he really made an emphasis on he wants to build the trenches wants to be able to run that ball down the other
Which
team.
you wanted to do for a while with the offense.
I've been saying I don't like this fancy.
Because you said there's a lot of war criminals there on that.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe we'll finally invest in guards and our defense properly. And the biggest thing I noticed was I was really happy about is his emphasis on the nickel position. He used a lot of nickel on third down. And I think there's guys we saw in the national championship, either Pons or Scott, that'd be great in like the third round to put there. So that's another huge
Pons
thing.
is really good. He's a small guy, but people said don't discount his heart and his ability and stuff like that.
Vince is saying, yeah, we get that right tackle and left tackle both built. We picked the Miami O-line. We can trade back and take – my pronunciation is so bad on Mauigoa. But if we take him and we trade back and even get a pick, I would love him. I want him. I want or Caleb Downs, really.
Stay away from my guy. That's my guy.
Caleb Downs is so good. Or Mansour Delaney.
I liked him in week 1 against Texas. I'm like, this is what I want the Cowboys to draft.
Incredible. If that's a defense change.
I like Bangs too. Shout out to the Canes there. I think that would be a good pick for Dallas as well. But Downs just a difference maker. He shuts up a whole side of the field and he can go sideline to sideline. Not a lot of guys can do that. And if we have guys on our defense like Overshown that can go sideline to sideline, you had a guy back there. Whoever drafts Downs just locks down that whole side of the field. You're back to like maybe potentially those Revis Island days and those elite cornerbacks,
sure. Yeah,
right with the safety.
Yeah, right? it's incredible. He can move. He can play anywhere. Another guy I really like is Sonny Styles. This is like
I like him too. Yeah,
our linebacker is literally our like best position right now in defense. Like we have an all-pro linebacker, but 2 of them. Oh man, that changes the game completely.
You're liking all the guys I am here. This is gonna be interesting this summer.
No, I always say like Sony that Ohio State defense is good. I had no complaints from guys there, and later down the line we take other positions of need. We get a tight end here and there. The tight end, what's his name? It's from Ohio State. Another guy, blanking on his name. Would love him in this 3rd round. Even the Texas tight end is good.
There's a guy at Texas A&M on defense. I can't remember if he's an edge rusher or linebacker. This guy, I think edge rusher. I think I know
you're good. There's an Auburn one who's good too.
Auburn, okay.
Kendrick Folk, I believe his name is. I've heard good things about him. Not the biggest fan of him, but there's just so many. Like I feel like I'm excited about the future of the Dolphins, which I haven't been for a while.
Yeah. I was surprised you and Cody both gave it like an AA+. I don't know if I'm there. You guys know the team better than me, so that's your guys' grade.
It's just such a nice change. It's such a nice change of sight. It's great to see.
And of course on Dolphins Twitter and Dolphins social media, people are like, what the hell is this team doing? And other people are just hyped up and are excited for the future, kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think the most thing I'm looking forward to is the less divisiveness, of the fan base. It's been really, really divisive where these guys are fighting with each other more than they're fighting with other teams. So I'm glad we're all going to get on the same page here and build the line, build the transit, build a tough team. And honestly, I didn't want to quarterback this draft anyways. So we have the second hardest schedule. If we have to lose a few games to get there, I'm okay. I know me and you and Caesar have all been on the Arch train. I've been joining you with that one. If that's a guy who comes to Miami, if we get a guy like Jeremiah Smith next year and we build the young guys next year, I am totally fine with having an ugly draft where we take those guys in the trenches and not the flashy
But the
guys.
Cowboys did all those years with the offensive line, and you guys like that. Cody likes that. Like we kind of build, right?
We're not trying to win a Super Bowl. We're trying to win one playoff game. It's not.
You'll win a playoff game or more, or give your chance if you do build the trenches.
Oh yeah, and just have some tough guys. Like this it's just a great outlook. Like I'm very excited for the draft. I really want to see what they do. And free agency, I think they'll be a lot smarter now. And I think the leash from the players, they're going to be more respect in that locker room. And they're going to be playing for, they're not just thinking like they're going to their AAU basketball games, goofing off with all the music and all that stuff and blah, 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 and all that nonsense. This is a tough run football team. And this organization is demanding respect. And I love it. I have no complaints. The only thing
I just want to jump in. Halfley said this is like a destination place. You guys all know that live in South Florida, that have either live there now or used to live there. Yeah. You guys know it's a destination spot, but he's like, it's also a job and something you have to take serious.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it's like, that's what we need to ditch. It's like, if you're going to come here, you're coming here to play football. not to go throw bills at hookers. You know what I mean? Like,
why do you think the Panthers turned around here with the whole stripper club
Yeah.
thing? Now this
Even
year it's
though
been
we
a
were at the
little
strip
much
club.
with like kind of celebrating everything, but we've won.
That's fine. You win. You win. You can do whatever you want. But no, this is as long as we hire proper coordinators. Brian Dabble, please come back, or please come back to the AFC East. Yeah, Dable. I would love him as our offensive coordinator.
He's looking at Buffalo right now.
Yeah, that's crazy to me, but no, Buffalo. But we do need.
I wasn't the biggest Dable guy in the NFC East. I think I've kind of proven that to be right. But he, like as a coordinator or different things, right? I think there's potentially a head coach. I'm like, eh. But you want to get anything else on the Dolphins or get back to hockey, or so people don't.
I'll just say shout out, bring back the throwback old logo. Maybe that's what we need for the full culture reset. Bring back this nice jersey right here. Oh, my favorite. I love it. This is what we should be wearing every single week.
Oh yeah,
this one. And
that orange, that white and orange, even the hats back in the day that had like
this is the logo with the helmet.
Yeah,
my girlfriend got me this because she's like, I know you like the old logo, so this is what we need. The old logo to reset the culture, and we'll be better.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm surprised Ryan doesn't have on Panthers jersey, or maybe Boone Jenner or Tarasenko here. But let's get to this question here as we wrap up, Ryan. I've heard this question a lot this year. Maybe I'm hard on Forsling versus, pretty much everyone. But again, what I've saw in Forsling this year without Barkov has been alarming, because I saw the same thing last year at Four Nations when he was playing for Sweden. And I think he was the worst defenseman for Sweden last year. Old man Erik Karlsson was out playing Forsling last year. So what was the excuse last year at Four Nations? What's the reason now? I think it's a Barkov thing. We talked about that on our latest podcast episode of Donis. I don't know if you've heard it. Go to the second segment. Talk about the defensive struggles. We really get into Forsling's numbers there with Barkov, without Barkov. So I really recommend that to our audience. But Ryan, anything you want to address on that?
Yeah, I want to say this is what happens when you guys crown some guy, calling him a top 5 defenseman in the league when he's clearly not. You need more
and
than
you guys, as in general, you guys.
Yes. Yeah. You need a couple more than just advanced analytics. And, playing in a system like this, I'm not saying Forsling is bad by any means. I think Forsling is a great defenseman. But when you crown a guy too early, these expectations are built up. And if you are getting told you are this good, those are their expectations. And the disappointing looks a lot worse. So him going against the best of best players without Barkov helping him out, like what we've seen this year again, like in Four Nations, it's embarrassing. This is not the standard of excellence we're used to seeing. But maybe it's what he actually is. It's okay that he's not a top 5 defenseman. It's okay if he's closer
or
to
not even top 10 or top 15.
Yeah, it's fine if he's around the 20 mark. It's just that him and Ekblad together, when Barkov's on the ice, look outstanding. One of the best players in the league. When he's not, they look a lot worse. It's come to the point where it goes on.
And it's not all Aaron Ekblad's fault, but go ahead, Ron.
No, it goes on a full circle there.
Aaron Ekblad.
Maybe Alexander Barkov is still underrated because he made Forsling look like a top 5 defenseman and is not even his partner. So
yeah, where's the videos from what's his name, Dmitry Filipovich, and all these guys that are in the analytics community? Where's the videos this year on Forsling?
He's been terrible.
They're not making videos on him and hype videos on him this year. And again, because Barkov comes back on plays, is there for the outlet, and helps the guys when they're not there. Oh boy, he does have something. Are you kidding me? Is this custom made?
Yeah, it's custom made.
It has to be custom made. Yeah. I should answer my own question.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the surprise guy. Hey, I said bring Boone Jenner in at the beginning of the year to Florida when we were figuring out we didn't have a spot at center.
Yeah. If we were in a playoff spot right now and competing, I would have been pushing so hard for him. But we're not in the spot right now where I want to be crazy buyers like that, because he's going to cost you a first round pick minimum. Like he's that good. Sorry guys, he's not buy low anymore.
Yeah.
Like back in the day when I was the only one cheering for him, yeah, sure, but not anymore.
No, I just want to ask you Don's question. I appreciate Don's. Don's like we're our best guys here on YouTube. We're never directing stuff at you guys. It's you guys know we talk a lot off air, what we see out there, what we hear at the practice rinks, what we hear with fans locally. So we're trying to encapsulate all that here on YouTube. And I know you guys are new to us, but we've been doing post-game shows for 4 years now. Ryan's been with me for many of those years. So just different callers that we have, different people within the community. I know it's not all here. You guys' puck knowledge here has been very impressive. And I think it's really growing as a community here. And I'm really enjoying this YouTube experience because you guys are making it a fun experience. Every night I get offline, I'm like, damn, the community here on YouTube, guys, you guys should give yourselves a pat on the back. been really fun here, getting to know you guys, Panther fans, and even non-Panther fans here. Like you mentioned, Antonio, our guy, Chicago guy. If we do a live stream this weekend, he'll probably be in there. So just getting to know all you guys. Swerve and Irvin from the Canucks moderator stream there. We've had people come over from different channels as well. So it's just great to KQ over from the Flames Nation page there. So it's just great to get to know all of you. And you guys know me when I come on daily face-off streams or Leaf Nation streams or Flames Nation, Canucks, our boy Coach Frenchie as well. We don't like Montreal here, but he has a great community over there. So I just like to drop by a lot of these communities, and they kind of know who we are now and stuff like that on the YouTube here. And we've only been doing this, like we're just doing this over a year now officially here on YouTube with doing live stream stuff. So we've really established the community here, and we can't thank you guys enough down there in the chat that are with us every night.
Yeah, and our good buddy, love to see you. We're missing Caesar and Jim. Usually they're around here with Cody and Nick. So we have a huge community here. It's been great talking to all you guys and interacting with you guys in the chat. Like, you go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, and the puck knowledge is just so painful. It's like
so vast, and you don't know where to look, where to start.
Yeah, and I found in this YouTube chat here it's just so much better. Like you guys, you can have a real conversation, you make a debate. It's not like nonsense. Like
no one takes it personal or upset after.
It's a very like good platform, and very grateful all you guys interacting, always tuning in for hours. Like I could not listen to me talk for an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm glad some of you guys can. So.
No, Brian, I appreciate it. We went a little longer today, and I appreciate your time and everything like that. But we will kind of like maybe wrap here. Brian, anything else on the way out here?
Well, I just want to say we're going to have a tough weekend in front of us. Minnesota's been very, very good with Quinn Hughes, and that Faber pair has been looked good. Hopefully, Boldy stays out for one more game, so we don't have to deal with him. And they had a tough game today, so that's going to be a tough challenge. And then Sunday, these Sunday midday games or afternoon before nighttime games are just so rough. So that's, I don't know. Cody was calling it
around with the travel there too.
Big turnout. Cody was calling it a schedule loss, but let's see what happens. Oh, look who decided to show up.
Oh, I gotta look at the chat. Sorry. That's what happens, Nick. Start booking the cruise, Nick. Do you see the score tonight? This is a win panel here, Nick. And wait till February when we get started in the Olympics. We're going to be collecting more W's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how do you feel like you're getting replaced, Nick?
It feels like you get replaced. So, we'll talk about this off air after, but we do have some scheduling stuff coming up in March. We'll let you guys know that closer to date. We're trying to figure some things out there. But yeah, we're going to be here for most post games leading up to Olympics, and then we're going to get into our Olympic coverage. I got to plan it with our guy, Big C's. Make sure to follow him down there. Make sure to reach out to us on Instagram, guys, and make sure you're reaching out to us on YouTube if you're members. We want to hear from you there. We want to connect with you, and also so we can contact you if we give away some of these great prizes ahead here. So we want to get to know you guys, and we're going to have our members-only stream again, maybe as we wrap up here in the next week and a half, heading into the Olympics. I would like to have a members-only stream before the Olympics does start to get everyone's feelings and things like that. Adonis, you got to reach out to me down there if you're still in the chat here. You got to reach out to me over in the members-only chat. You want to be part of the next show with Die Hard. So maybe we'll have one or two more before the Olympics starts, but we'll at least have one. So I want you guys to jump on for that. So
sure. Thank you guys.
Budget cuts here. Yeah, you guys are having fun there in the chat. So is that everything, Ryan?
Yeah, and then Sunday, I'm going to try and watch it at the same time as a football game. I'm going to the bar to see it. So hopefully I'm going to tell them to put it on the small TV. But we'll see.
You need to have a booth there where you have that TV next to it. I was coaching in Grand Prairie. This was like, 12, 14 years ago? Remember the Marshawn Lynch run?
Oh, yeah.
So we got there. I'm coaching with a Seahawks fan. We get there. It's a Shark Club. You know that in Alberta.
Yeah.
Shark Club. So we got like our own like booth. It wasn't like a private VIP. We got our own booth, and it had like the TV installed right there, the little screen, and there was something else going on the big screen. But we got to see the Marshawn Lynch run right there. Man, like he was shaking me. He was like, "Let's go!" We just got in there after a long day of coaching, and Marshawn Lynch made that memorable run against New Orleans Saints. That was a big run. That was that New Orleans Saints. I think they had a better record than the Seahawks, but Seahawks got home field advantage because they won the division.
The division, this NFL.
I
don't like also just want to make sure you guys know I am cheering for the Panthers on Sunday. Before anybody asks, just in case there was some confusion, I am cheering.
Oh, yeah, is there? Okay, right. Should I be on your side when you say I'm cheering for Montreal all the time? I'll take that
Well, you
into
actually-
consideration.
Oh, this is a funny comment. But Kirby, do you know about the maple flavored Pepsi?
Yes, I do not know about maple flavored Pepsi. I don't even know if I've seen it in the store.
We're
They're
getting
doing
into-
they're doing the whole. They probably do it in the States. They're doing the whole sugarcane natural sugar pops here now, but they're not selling well enough, at least in Canada. So like that stuff can expire, I think. So these stores that are up pricing this, and then people are like, I'm not buying it because it's more expensive or whatever. The reason I don't like the taste, whatever. So that's a big problem right now going on.
Pop is actually ridiculously expensive here. It's just so off topic.
Yeah,
compared
like
to
it's
the
the
States.
cheapest thing now. Like everything is here, but
It's like $3 for a little like 500 ml bottle. In the States, it's maybe $1. It's so stupid, but
That's
whatever.
crazy. Vince says they're releasing it here in Canada. Doesn't know when. Okay, it's not released yet. Okay, I'll keep my eye open for it. I'll try it. I'll maybe get one. I'll try it on stream first time. We'll do something like that. And then one of you guys can drink real maple syrup and guzzle that. I'm gonna let you go here, but Ocho drinking that. What was it? Hennessy? No, it wasn't even. What was it? That was crazy. He chugged it like Gatorade.
Oh yeah, that's Hennessy. That's
It was Hennessy.
That's Shannon Sharp's Hennessy. You know what? If we win the Olympics, I will have that bottle and I'll chug it like that too. I
don't even know if we're allowed to do that on here. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, I'm not going to put your health at risk.
If Ocho can do it, I can do it. I love that shit.
That was crazy. Ocho, if Ocho could do it, maybe they can get away with it.
And Matthew's going to send me that bottle too. Another one. He's going to send me 2 up here.
He owes you a Crown Royal bottle.
Yeah, he can owe me a bottle of Hennessy. We're going to make a bet.
And Matthew, you better reach out to me. We're doing a Denver, New England community bet, and then you talking all this crap about the Olympics. So Matthew, step up on that. We got to bring Matthew up before the Olympics starts or something.
Sure. Let him talk to so I have his receipt.
You can talk. We have the receipts right here.
Vince knows. He even said, USA is going to go undefeated in their preliminary rounds, get their hope up, and lose in overtime in the finals.
I can't believe Vince is feeling that way. Vince is very patriotic. He's very pro.
He's turning Canadian.
He's feeling that way about the senior team. That's crazy. You know, like a year ago, we said, "Hey guys, like Canada's got to get their goaltending, or they still got to do that." But we weren't super confident
Vince
last
has
year.
been spending a lot of time with his Canadian buddy, not me, his other one, and he's getting slightly.
You don't listen to us, but that's right. Yeah, they know puck, so everyone knows puck up here. But Ryan, I appreciate your time. We collect a W here, so Panther fans can't be upset with this all-Canadian panel. We collected a W here. Shout out Chris Scott, always taking shrapnel from Mario Perez in our chat. Whenever we bring Chris Scott on, it's a scheduled loss. By the way, we're scheduling Chris Scott to make an appearance back here. So if you guys want to schedule that as a loss coming up, I don't know. We're not going to have anyone on Saturday night because we're just going to probably have me, Cody, and Nick. Sunday, we're trying to work together that live stream, and then we'll start to plan stuff as the Cats return home and down the stretch here, heading into the Olympic break. So let's leave it there. Thanks, Ryan, for his time here today. We missed Cody and Nick and our boy C's. Hope to see them here over the weekend. But as we say, a big win tonight here for the Cats. But as we always say on the way, let's go Cats.
What's up, Cats and Rats fans? If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button before you head out. If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. And just like always, let's go Cats.